Hello, my name is Brayanoski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
And today we're going to be talking about the Ubisoft Forward live stream featuring Watch Dogs Legions. One of those things. Anyway, this is an exciting game that we're actually surprisingly hyped about. You can play as any NPC in the game as long as you convince them to join your party and just do a bunch of crazy shit in London. And it's wild and crazy and it looks good. And we're actually kind of excited about it. So we're going to talk about all the new gameplay mechanics that come into this game and the fact that John fucking Wick. Okay, let's do this.
And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and bang that bell, cuz, you know, Ubisoft, bang the bell. There's something correlating there. All right, I'm out of here.
Ubisoft Forward is their answer to the fact that they don't have an E3 press conference this year, obviously because of COVID. So they put on a pre-recorded live stream that had a pre-show, which was also kind of interesting because they showed some games that normally, you know, like they don't show up on the actual thing, like Trackmania and stuff like that. And they opened up with none other than Watch Dogs Legions. And we've already seen stuff about Watch Dogs Legions quite a bit, but what they showed here was a lot of new gameplay and also a release date. So this game is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on October 29th. So not very far away. What is that? Where are we at? July, August, September, October. That's like 4 months from now. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And I forgot that this game was supposed to come out in March of this year, so it got postponed to October. But they went in here and they just showcased a couple of lengthy gameplay videos showing the open world, how you recruit players, showing off more in depth of like the diversity and like the type of NPC that you select and the abilities that they have is different ways that you can approach, you know, a scenario. And it continues to kind of impress me more than I thought it would because the game looks like it's a politically motivated game because there's this whole like resistance going against the government kind of situation, which is very timely for right now. But then at the same time, it's like silly in a lot of the stuff. I mean, the fact that you can play as a grandma that goes around and shoots people, that's wild. And then watching people like jump up on top of drones and like flip over. I mean, it's kind of like the Ghost Recon Breakpoint thing that I'm like talking about where I just want to do stupid shit in a game. This game kind of seems like it's going to allow you to do that in a way. Austin, what did you think about Legion, what you saw so far?
Actually, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into when you're watching the trailer and you're seeing all the new gameplay stuff. And it's just like, okay, you pick a person you want to go into a mission and they have different play styles and, you know, you can kind of pick and choose how you want to pursue something. And that's great. Like player choice is awesome. But it just got so wacky when you think about the different play styles. Like one guy's a construction worker. So what does he do? He has control of certain drones. And his weapon of choice is a nail gun. So you're going to this facility and just killing people with a nail gun. It's just like so crazy. And honestly, that's got me a little excited because it's just like there's different ways to play. You know what you're getting into. It's not, I mean, there's a story there, but it's not anything amazing. Like we get it. The whole thing is like the gameplay seems pretty fleshed out with, you know, a myriad of ways to play seemingly. And everyone could be basically a part of the team, then like I'm curious to just test out how many different ways there are to play, like how much time they took to actually make that a viable option for, you know, possibly thousands of ways to play this game. And what really got me sold is that they have a guy in there, it's called Professional Hitman, who is basically John Wick. And I was like, holy shit, I want to play this as John Wick because he looks badass killing people.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize when I saw that sequence the first time because I was the beginning part of it. I was talking to my family, so I hadn't had my sound on yet, so I didn't hear them like talk about or narrate anything. And I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty badass!" Like the way this guy's fighting stuff. I mean, he looks familiar, but I can't really tell what it was. And then when I saw the references later on of like, "Oh yeah, that's basically the John Wick, you know, lookalike," I was like, "Oh, there we go. Okay, it all makes sense now."
I mean, this is basically Hitman, but like create your own sandbox character Hitman.
Yeah.
If you think about
it's like
it.
but it's cool because it's like it can be Hitman or it can be run and gun and go crazy and do stupid shit, or it can be like they show that one character who just like is a drone specialist, and like she could go in there and literally just control drones, like taking down people the entire time and never even enter into the place.
Right.
Or there was that one scene where they play as a person that's part of the enemy Albion or whatever, and then they turn sides, but they have all the access, so you can sneak in as a person that works for this company, but be like a double agent and do it that way. And I was like, there's some really interesting concepts here. Now granted, like, I mean, it's any Ubisoft game, like once you get it, like there's room to be disappointed in some case.
Oh yeah.
But so far, what I've seen, I mean, like the graphics look really good. The style of the game is really intriguing to me. Like the first Watch Dogs, when it came out, it just was bland. It was fun, but it was just a very bland world. Watch Dogs 2 added a lot of style to it, but still felt kind of gamey. And this one just seems like you have a lot more flexibility and control over how you approach stuff. And it doesn't seem like there's as much stuff that's off limits, which is kind of nice. So I'm kind of excited about it and think it might be worth diving into, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think it's GTA meets what did I say? It was related to Hitman, basically.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go in the world, do all that stuff like GTA, but then you go and focus on these little areas, and you go in and focus on the mission, kill the people and stuff. So. And it's a little more cinematic than most Ubisoft games, and we'll get into that later with Valhalla. But I'm actually very impressed with what I've seen so far, and that could obviously all change once we get to the actual game and more things start popping up. But yeah, man, I was very lackluster about it early on, and now I'm kind of like, oh, all right, this actually might be worth playing at some point. Maybe not right off the bat. Maybe give it some time to simmer in the hands of all the early adopters,